Hey guys, Jessica Damu here with another Gundam toy review, and today we're reviewing the Gundam Universe GU-01 RX78-2 Gundam. So, special thanks to Richard Oliver Cofield, or Neo Rollover C Xeon, who sent me this figure to review. He wanted me to check it out. There's been a lot of interest in what these figures are going to be like. So, what we have just kind of laid out here. We have the Once Upon a Time Mobile Suit in Action Gundam action figures. This is a version 2 RX78. They're about 4.5 inches tall. Soft PVC plastic. This missing its visor because I put it in a safe place. Safe place. Yeah. I don't know where it is, but it's safe. Anyways, is my Robot Damashi Sniper, one of the first Damashis that came out. And then one of the more recent Damashis, the Camphor, which is pretty big compared to that Sniper. Man, the Sniper doesn't have a chance. So, Robot Damashis tend to be about $50 as a starting price. They're about 5 inches tall, give or take. This one's more like 5.5 inches tall. But the robot, or the Gundam Universe figures, are 6 inches tall, which makes them taller than your Robot Damashis. Now, these figures aren't terribly expensive. They're something like $15 or so, plus shipping. And I guess they're to meet the cheaper price standard for Gundam collectible figures. I would have been really happy if they just brought the Mobile Suit in Action figures back, but that's probably not going to happen. So, Gundam Universe. Alright, cool. Let's get into it. Just wanted to compare, though, with sizes. If you're looking for something to offset the figures in your collection, Robot Damashi-wise, you need to know that these guys are bigger. If you're thinking maybe you'll add to your Mobile Suit in Action collection or use them for as custom fodder, they're pretty stinking huge by comparison. I love the MSAA, so I was wondering if I might be able to glean something from these figures. But they're just too big. And that's a huge, huge, huge difference. Even here, it's still a huge difference, So, what we have is, this part is hard plastic. It's actually only attached on this side, which is kind of weird and kind of cool. Our foot has a ball joint, and the foot is made of this soft PVC plastic, much like the Mobile Suit in Action figures. The lower leg is made similarly. These seem to be something kind of like rivets, just like the Robot Damashis, which means you're not going to be able to swap legs or anything like that. It's double jointed, however, they did it pretty poorly. You can't get double jointed articulate. It's like you have two joints in there, one here and one here, but the plastic gets in the way from having the type of flexibility that one would really like to have, as demonstratable on the version 2 RX78 MSIA, or on any of the Damashis, So that was pretty sad. It's that way on the arms as well. Now this beam saber stuck into the beam rifle is getting in my way, so I'm going to cover that right away. We have two beam sabers. They're not translucent, they're painted, they're made of a hard plastic, not a soft plastic, and they fit into the beam rifle, and so I'm glad that they did that. That was a good idea. It would have been nice if they designed these guys to be compatible with the Robot Damashi effects parts, just kind of, for whatever reason, just to make them compatible, because they're being produced by the same company, but they aren't. And that was, it's not that anyone would necessarily expect that, but I think that would have been a good idea. Our beam saber hilts kind of worry me, honestly. Like, we look at this one, and I don't know how well my camera is going to focus on this. I don't know if you can see the crease that's starting to form in the plastic. There's a extra white part. Come on, camera. I think you guys are seeing it for like a second. Had the beam saber hilt in my mouth. That's why I sounded funny. Anyways, stress points. This is the kind of thing, if you switch it many times between beam saber and beam rifle, or, you play too rough with it, it's going to snap in there. So I would have preferred a more soft, malleable plastic. Painting, however, looks really good. Still, I think there's value in having some translucent parts, instead. We don't have any sword hands. We have 2 closed fists. We have a gun hand, which can hold our saber loosely, and our shield hand, which should be able to hold it a lot better, and we'll check that here shortly. Beam rifle has a nice gold reticle. It's kind of reflective. This moves just a little bit. This does not move at all. It's just a hard piece of plastic. The thighs are also that soft plastic, and we have this turning ball joint. So it's kind of like the MSA with the ball joint, but this part turns, so that's cool. Her skirt is a hard plastic, and it moves so that we have lots of articulation. We've got a point of articulation in here and a little lower, I think. So it kind of reminds me of the extended MSA just a little bit. The cockpit doesn't open, but you can look up and down. Our arm, again, it's double jointed, but as you can see, we're not getting much out of it. And there's one of the rivets right there, that little silver thing, which tells us that, your customization ability is going to be pretty limited. Your boosters do not move. The arm does turn, hand turns, hands are on a ball joint, so that's nice, I appreciate that. Head's on, there's 2 joints to the neck. Head has this tiny little ball joint. Sticks on there. Shoulders are a hard plastic and seem to plug in via ball joint on the top here. The arms are not on a ball joint, though. They're more of a structured joint. I don't know how to describe that. With that, we get to the shield, which can plug into the arm and can go on either arm. Now we get to test our alternate beam saber. There's one other piece I won't be able to cover. There was a little tiny piece right here, and it is currently hiding. So that plugs in down under here to help him work with different stands. So we can dual wield beam sabers. That's cool. Let's see if we could strike a cool pose. That looks kind of weird. I don't know. But see, the worst part of this is that the double joints are there. They just didn't design the figure able to utilize the double joints. That makes me upset. The shield's on a ball joint type deal, something like that. The handle fits well into the hand. This plugs in well. It's just a hard plastic shield. So it's kind of like a hybrid of the soft PVC plastic of the Mobile Suit in Action figures, but with the hard plastic of the Damashi. And I suppose on paper, it has some of the same points of articulation as the Damashi, but not done as well. I actually like the heft of the figure. I like my figure to have a little bit of, hey, it feels like if I drop this, it won't completely and utterly die. It's actually designed for ages 15 and up, so it's meant to be a collectible. Our antenna also is a hard plastic. Yeah, I can't think of much more to say about this figure. I kind of give it a 5 out of 10. It's not as cool as the Damashis, but its price point is nice. I really like articulation. So if they're going to have double joints and not have them be able to do what double joints should be able to do, then I'm really not very interested. Yeah. At present, I don't see myself collecting the Gundam Universe figure line. They're if they were the same size as the Damashis, and they made some figures that the Damashi line at least has not gotten yet, or maybe the Damashi line has just decided, you know what, there's not enough interest in us making this figure full on, super awesome, and highly, highly articulated, so we're going to make it in this version. Or we think people want an army build, you know, GM ground types, so we'll make the GM ground type in the Gundam Universe line. If the Gundam Universe line was the same size as the robot Damashis, they would be perfect for army building, you know, on a cheaper rate. And that would be absolutely awesome. But instead, because it's a different line, they've made them a larger size. And I think that was a bad move. I really do. I think they should have stuck. I think they should create a standard, and that they should meet the standard, and that things should be designed within their own, you know, series of scale. The MSA were actually non-scale, but when they made something from Char's Counterattack, the Char's Counterattack figure was like this, because Char's Counterattack figures are bigger. Mobile suits are bigger in the era of Char's Counterattack. And so within its own system, it was true to it, whereas the Robot Damashi line doesn't do that, and this line isn't probably doing it either, because it's also released the Gundam Unicorn as a 6-inch figure, and the Unicorn Gundam should be way bigger than the RX78. Just a small little, it irks me kind of thing. Don't know if it irks you, maybe just happy to have the figure. Price point wise, I guess it's not bad. I don't like it. I don't like it. I just don't. I don't like it. If they want to turn this line around, make them the same size as the Damashis, make things that people want as army builders, and fix the double joint issue. That's what they should do. Well, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the Gundam Universe line. Have you tried them out? Are you excited about them? Currently, they've got some figures that they haven't made Damashis of yet. So that's kind of cool. And I can recognize that not everybody's trying to collect everything on the same scale, because you're not all stop-motion animators like me. Well, make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe as I post a new toy review just about every other day. And thanks again, Richard Oliver Cofield, for sending this figure my way and asking me to review it. And he told me just review it. Tell me what you think of it. So that's what I think of it. I'll see you guys later.